What's going on, guys? My name is Steve. Thank you for stopping by my channel. Today we're going to be reacting to do English people like American accents? This is a question I've had in my mind for quite a while now. What does an average British person think of an average American accent? And the reason I say average American accent is because we have so many different accents throughout the US that it's very unlikely that every single British person would enjoy every single American accent. I'm sure there are certain American accents that you may like a lot and certain American accents that you probably don't like very much. And I'm thinking that you guys probably feel the same way when it comes to British accents. Depending on what part of the UK you were born and raised in, it's very likely that you like some British accents more than you like other British accents. So I'm really curious what you guys think of different areas within the US or different accents within the US. You know, obviously I have more of a northern southern accent. I'm originally from North Carolina, which is in the South, but I'm not really deep South like, say, Louisiana or Mississippi. So my accent isn't quite as strong of a Southern accent as that. I have more of a mid-Atlantic Southern accent, but you can definitely hear the Southern accent come out. In North Carolina, we actually, if I'm not mistaken, my home state actually has the most diverse amount of accents in the U.S. And so when you go to my home state, depending on where you're at, you could hear 100 different versions of accents within that state. And down on the coast, we actually have people that sound like they're from England, actually. It's just an accent where they were on some of the Outer Bank Islands, and they basically didn't have a lot of outsiders come. And so that accent from the original people from England kind of stuck, and it stayed around. And so anyways, guys, I definitely find accents very interesting. I've done a few different videos on British accents. It's something I want to continue exploring because I know you guys actually have a ton of accents. You know, before I started this journey, I always assumed, obviously I knew that a Scottish accent was different from, a Southern English accent or a London accent, for example. But it's way more than that. You guys actually have accents that can change within a few miles from each other. So that's something was actually really shocking to me when I started learning a little bit about it. But I have a long way to go to actually learn about all the different accents you guys have throughout the UK. Before we get started, guys, I would like to say that generally speaking, I like most British accents I've heard. Some are completely different from each other, but they all have, some uniqueness to them. They got a lot of character, and generally speaking, I enjoy hearing you guys talk. But I'm sure there are some British accents I'm going to like more than others. I think we all have certain sounds that sound better to us than other sounds, depending on how we were raised and things like that and who we were raised around. But yeah, guys, I think this will be interesting. So let's just go ahead and dive in and check out, do English people like American accents?
Queen Victoria and her people. Nice.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
James Prime here, and today I am back in England. Now, this time I won't just be staying in London. I plan to go check out some other cities and towns, so if you have any recommendations on where I should visit next, let me know. I just might chase it up. Now, a while ago I made a couple videos called What Americans Think About England, and throughout those videos you'll notice a recurring theme that Americans really like the English accent.
Yeah, I think like the cute accents, cute British accents, so I like their accent.
I love the accents there too.
I like their accent.
Their accents are kind of funny, it's kind of cool.
Their accents are pretty cool.
I love their accent.
I like how they talk.
So today I thought it'd be fun to see if the opposite is true. I want to see if the American accent or accents are just as good to them as the English accent is as good to us. I don't know. Let's go find out. So when you think of American accent, what type of accent are you thinking of?
Yeah, I think that what we're going to see is that it really depends on what accent they're used to hearing. Because if they're used to hearing one particular accent, probably what they generally hear in American media and things like that, I think is what they're going to perceive as an American accent. And then they're probably going to also think of very, very deep Southern accents. And New York accents, obviously, will probably be in there as well.
On the internet, there's that like typical like American girl voice that's like, oh my God.
California.
Can't really name the different regional differences. Like the only one that stands out to me is like the New York accent.
York.
Like, I'm kind of scared of anyone with that accent. I did actually have a teacher with a New York accent, and she like scared the shit out of me. So
For me, it's always like the kind of the nasally California, like, oh my God.
California
awesome.
again, man. Interesting.
That's the classic for me.
Probably like California and like Los Angeles.
Okay, that's gotta be because of media. Like obviously a lot of people from California are on TV shows and movies and things like that. So there's got to be something to that. The reason they go to California accents first.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think it's quite loud.
Yeah.
Can be loud. I mean, they pronounce the words really well. Like, you understand them really easily, but
Right.
it can be a bit annoying sometimes.
I'll agree with
Mine's
that.
like I had to go deep, like, is it Texas when they're like really deep? Southern, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Texas in the south, didn't know that. Or they all kind of, there's just like one American accent. Like here, like you said, you go down the road, there's another accent. Whereas in America, I feel like everyone just speaks the same.
No,
I would say
I can definitely say that's not the case. Obviously I didn't, when I started this, I had no idea how many different British accents there were. And I can say, I think there might be more British accents than American accents, but we don't all have the same accent at all. I mean, like I said, in my home state alone, there are tons. I might be exaggerating when I said 100, but I'm going to guess there's at least a couple of dozen different accents in my home state alone. Once you get outside of North Carolina specifically, most states don't have as many different accents. Most areas is more regional. In larger swath, like Texas has probably its own accent, and California generally, especially down towards the coast, you'll get that Valley Girl type accent that they were talking about. New York City accent. New York City's actually got a few different accents, but we definitely don't have the same accents. Now, if you go out to the Midwest, a lot of people in the Midwest tend to have the same accent. And so that would be true if you're talking about the Midwest or some parts of the South as well, I think. And yeah, anyway.
they're like the high-pitched Midwestern accent, especially female accent, or I would say like your upper South, like Tennessee, drawl, something like that.
Probably the New York accent. Yeah, I like the way they say coffee.
It's going to sound really weird, but something not too dissimilar from your accent, like kind of
Midwest type.
yeah, exactly, Midwest, I definitely don't think default of New York or like deep South. Or
Interesting.
Like that. So yeah, something like Midwest, I'd say. Yeah.
What are your general thoughts on the American accent?
Oh, before we continue, guys, I wanted to ask, what American accent? What accent do you think of when you think of the U.S.? You may not even know what part of America it comes from, but if you do know what part of America the accent you think of most is from, let me know in the comments. I'd love to know what the accent that comes to mind when you think of the U.S. in general is. Is it the Southern accent? Is it kind of a Midwest accent like this guy? Is it the New York accent, the Texas accent, the Valley Girl California accent? I'd be really curious to know, what are your first thoughts when you think about an accent in the U.S.? And also, what is your favorite American accent?
I don't know. I think it depends on the person that it's coming from, but I like it. I think because it's the same language, but you use different words.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Things slightly
with
differently. I
the
think
British
it's
accents as
interesting. So I
well.
quite like
A lot
having
of those.
conversation with an American person.
I think because we grew up with a lot of American TV, so I'm just quite neutral to it. It's just an accent.
That's interesting.
The American accent is like the English accent of the internet, and everyone digests content on the internet now. So now it means like if you have an English accent, you're this kind of exotic token who just sounds a bit like Hugh Grant, sounds a bit kind of weedy and pathetic.
Right.
Whereas the American accent is kind of feels a bit more like luxuriant in comparison.
Right.
There's a very annoying accent, but I don't know where it's from. And it's like hi, it's Cali, like, I don't know.
So I relocated to America when I was 16. At the time, I had a real English accent, and found it incredibly hard to be understood. I would ask for like a glass of water in a restaurant, and people actually wouldn't get it at all. So I deliberately started putting on a more American accent, like, can I get a water? Oh, I love it.
How? Okay. I don't understand how someone, even if you've never heard someone say it, like, how do you guys say water? You add the what he does in his accent, woo, instead of the wah. Like I would go water, and he goes water. And I mean, never hearing that before, I would understand what he's saying. Like, I can't imagine people actually couldn't recognize that. It doesn't make any sense to me. Okay. I'm sure he's telling the truth. I don't believe he's lying. I think there's just people out there that are really weird, and I don't know. It's weird. Okay.
Especially like Boston accents. I'm a New England Patriots fan, so like people like Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, like when they come on to a real Boston accent, I think it's great, and also the Deep South. I think it's fantastic.
I mean, I think the American accent is pretty like understandable, but personally, like, I prefer the English accent a lot more. It's nice, like, I think it's fine, but I just prefer like an English accent if I had.
Now, what's she mean by an English accent? Does she mean every English accent, or does she mean the accent that her and her family mostly speak? That's the question I would have for people. When you say, like, if an American said the same thing, like, I prefer an American accent, right? What American accent are you talking about? Because that is something that I didn't really think about before I started this journey of, like, oh, it's an American accent. Oh, it's a British accent. Oh, it's a Scottish accent. No, it's not. It's a single accent within this large area or this country. And there are so many, and it's just really interesting. It's really interesting how these accents come about, and how we start speaking the accent basically that our parents and our family speak. So weird.
Had to decide.
Oh, one thing I would like to say is, I can't tell the difference at all between an American accent and a Canadian accent. So
what?
I know that's going to get.
What are you talking about? What?
The only word. It's a boot. What I think of as like standard American accent, like we discussed, like yours, like Midwest, I really like. I think of other ones like the New York accent, again, like the Deep South accent, is like quite stereotypically funny accents, like in comedies, you would have like the Deep South like drawl, and it's
that's true.
Coming out with
I can see that.
Things. So I think of that as quite like a comic sort of slant on things.
It can get annoying quite sometimes, but it can get quite whiny, but I also prefer the British accent, specifically on men.
I feel some triggered Americans are going to be like, oh my gosh. To the people out there that are watching,
no,
could
not
you
triggered.
give them your best American accent?
On Wednesdays we wear pink. Pink from Mean Girls.
I like my water bottle.
Not bad, actually.
Hi, my name's Izzy, and this is my American accent. Don't put that one on there. Hi, my name's Izzy, and I'm from America.
Not bad, actually.
Like a box of chocolates.
Okay.
Park the car in Harvard Yard.
Yes, Boston.
I like to drink a nice cold glass of water.
Water is wet. Because Australian. See?
Yeah, that was Australian.
Yeah.
Water.
That's how everyone thinks British people say water. Water.
Interesting perspective from the English people. I appreciate you guys going out of your way to do this video. Now, if you're American and you're watching this video and you feel triggered, don't worry. There's a support group I made on Discord that you guys can join and discuss your feelings. It's called the Triggered One Support Group. So go ahead and join that if you feel triggered. I'll probably make this video again in a different city just to get some different perspectives. And to the Americans out there that are watching this video, I'm curious to know your thoughts on the English accent. Something you like, something you don't like, let me know.
No, guys, definitely not triggered. Like I said, I think everybody has certain sounds that they like and certain sounds they don't like. I'm sure there are people that every single accent, no matter how obscure, there are people that love it and there are people that hate it. You know, I hope people don't hate my accent. You know, I can't change it. So, but you know, my accent actually changes quite a bit when I have allergies. I think a lot of people are like that. I get a little more nasally, like I am right now. Like every single day, I think I have a small milk allergy because I have milk every single day at lunch. I have a shake, and it seems like after I have that shake, I'm kind of nasally for hours, and it actually causes me a little bit of an issue trying to speak sometimes, and I get kind of congested like that. I don't know, it's weird, man, but I can't give up the dairy, man. I can't give up the milk. I need to go back to raw milk. I haven't been drinking raw milk for a while. I've been drinking pasteurized milk, so I need to go try the raw milk again, and you know, that wasn't nearly as bad. Raw milk seems to do well with me. I mean, I'm good with milk. Anyway, this video is not about milk, but I'm just making the point that I think people's accents can change even based on their environment. I mean, not the whole accent, but just subtleties of the accent will change. You know, like I was just saying with going from non-nasally to nasally. And it's not so much nasally, but yeah, anyways, guys. So let me know, guys, what American accent do you like the most? Do you like any American accents? You know, for me, I definitely like a broad assortment of the British accents and Irish accents I've heard. I think generally speaking, you know, if you live in an area, the accent, you get used to it. So most American accents I'm used to. But when it comes to British and Irish accents, even though I've been on this journey for a while, they're still relatively new to me. You know, at least as many versions I'm starting to hear on different videos and whatnot, they're still somewhat exotic to me. And so I think that's a part of really enjoying certain accents, is that there's an exotic component to accents that you're not fully used to hearing. And yeah, it's just interesting. All this is interesting, guys. I love the accent topic, guys. And you know, feel free to leave in the comments if you have any videos you think I might enjoy about some British or Irish accents that I haven't explored. I've only explored a few different versions in like single video formats, if you understand what I'm saying. But definitely something I want to continue learning about. But really enjoyed this video, guys. All in all, at least those people seem to be either neutral or some really enjoyed certain American accents. And I'd love to hear your point of view. Do you like American accents? Do you like my accent? What do you think of my accent? I've kind of got a mid-Atlantic Southern accent, and yeah. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Please click that like button. Feel free to drop your comments or suggestions about this video or others. And don't forget to subscribe to continue to follow me on my journey to discover my British and Irish ancestry. Until next time, guys, peace.